if I'm drawn to an art style, because to be honest, I find that with manga and with anime, there can be a lot of filler and a lot of just content that I'm not super keen on. This comes from somebody who doesn't. I'm very picky with the shows that I watch, the movies that I watch. I really watch a lot more YouTube, but when I'm watching a show or consuming some kind of franchise, I like for there to be a lot of depth in the symbolism, and like for it to be something that I can really think about. That's the kind of thing that I really enjoy. And I find that sometimes that's hard to find in anime and manga, or maybe it's just that I'm not looking in the right places. There's some exceptions, like Neon Genesis Evangelion, so good, I love that. Also, Assassination Classroom, personally, my favorite. I feel like there is actually a good bit in there when you read into it, but I do like the stories. It's just not my number one way of consuming media. That being said, I love the art. I love just the whole art form of manga art, the whole style of it, and the variations that there are within that. So there are a lot of things that I really enjoy about anime and manga, but it is still expensive, so I don't have loads, to be honest. Anyway, we'll start off with one of my favorites, and that is Seraph of the End. So I think it goes without saying, beautiful, beautiful art. The cool thing about these manga, are that they all come with a little poster. I haven't taken any of them out because I don't really trust myself, to be honest. If you haven't heard of Seraph of the End, this is a really good manga and anime. I think it was discontinued after 2 seasons in the anime, which surprises me because I thought it was really popular, but it's basically about this world that was overrun by vampires. This virus spread and killed 90% of the population, the human population that was over, I think, 12 years old. So they took all people under 12 years old captive, and then this is the story of one of the boys, and then he escapes and they become vampire hunters. But the question is, what happened to his best friend? Who knows? I think this has some of the most gorgeous art, most stunning art style. There's just something about it that I really like. It's really crisp, I feel like. Maybe if I go further in it, I have up to number 8, but let me show you. This is the first one. Then we have the second poster, and here is really nice too. My favorite character is probably Shinoa, or I like Garen too. Here's it's kind of inappropriate. This is the Shinoa cover. I'd really like to read, is it light novels that there are? Based on Gurren's team. There's Shinoa and, oh my god, what's her name? I don't know, I haven't read this in a while. But yeah. Oh, can you hear the birds? I just feel like the art style, there's something about it that I really love. Another beautiful, the guy with the archery. This, I think, is beautiful. So beautiful. Let's look at the poster in here. Oh yeah, they all have demons. It's like kind of complicated. The demons are their weapons, kind of. I actually should reread this because I remember really enjoying it. This, and then my personal favorite cover. Gurren. Yeah, so that's all that I have. Look, it's so beautiful. I'm pretty sure the art, and yeah, the art is by Yamato Yamamoto, and the story is by Takeya Kagami. I'm pretty sure he can't draw at all. Self-proclaimed. So, next off, I'm going to go to a really short little entry that I have, and that is Orange. So, Orange is a very light sci-fi romance, very light, involving time travel. So there's only 2 volumes. There is a third, like, little mini volume. I'm pretty sure I haven't read that one. But these, like, it's a nice, like, slow, chill read. So this girl starts getting letters sent to her from her future self, telling her to do certain things differently and to spend more time with this one guy who she kind of has feelings for. And it's only small things, it's nothing that extreme, but it's really sweet, but not too fluffy. It's a really nice story. I will say check trigger warnings, although I don't remember it being super graphic, but just in case, I would say check trigger warnings, because there are some rough topics talked about in here. I love the thick, chunky, I love the back of this one, by the way. I love the thick, like, chunky. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And the art style here is really cute too. But if you're in the mood for some kind of, like, just a sweet story, but with a little bit of depth there and a little bit of darkness, I would recommend. It also has, at the back of this, I forgot about this, there is the first volume, I think, of another manga that the author Ichigo Takano has written. So the mangaka, I should say. And I really liked that. I actually would like to get further into it. So that's Orange. Highly recommend. Next, I'm going to go on to Bakuman, and I only have 2 volumes of Bakuman. This is not a very long manga. I'm pretty sure it's only 20 volumes. And this is about a boy, 2 teen boys, who want to start making manga. This guy, his uncle was a mangaka, and he is the writer, and his friend here is the artist. And it's basically just their story of making manga, and I think it's really cool, like, insight into the manga world. And also just, like, a fun read. I also think it has a really interesting art style. The way that Takeshi Owata draws characters, I find really endearing. Like, it's just really cute. There is a tiny bit of romance in here. It's just, like, a fun kind of, not exactly slice of life, but it's really chill. It's a nice read. I would like to get back into this, and I think the way to read this is with the manga, not the anime, even though I'm sure the anime is really good. I also really like an anime. I feel like the art styles, a lot of the time, are more pronounced in the manga as opposed to the anime. And that's, like, just a nice detail, just because obviously it's different people drawing each manga, as opposed to, you know, it would be a lot of different people would be working on on a bunch of different animes, I would assume, or just over time, you know, so it won't have the integrity of the original art style a lot of the time. A lot of the time it still does, and there is a lot of cool artistic things that anime does, but I just really like manga for that reason. Another manga that I really love, it's a Princess Jellyfish. I only have the first one because I can't find them anywhere. I don't live in a place that has a lot of manga available to me, and then it's super expensive. So I only have the one, but I would love to get the rest. I'm pretty sure there's only 8 volumes, but each volume has kind of 2 volumes within it, so technically 16 volumes, if you get what I mean. This is about a girl who, she is an assistant to a mangaka, so she does like a bunch of the little background details, you know, she wouldn't be doing the main drawing, but maybe she'd be doing the shading, that kind of thing. And she lives in a house with everyone else who assists this mangaka and the mangaka, and it's all girls and they're all like nerds, so they don't really have any kind of contact with men. And then one day she meets this girl, and she's like totally enamored with this girl. She's like, wow, she's so cool and effortless and everything. And then it turns out this is a cross-dresser. This is a man. And then she brings the man into the house, and everyone is like shocked. I really love this art style. I think it's so cute. Look at how cute she is. Further ensues, I would say, light struggle warning for I think the second half of this, from what I remember. I also love the fashion. I love the fashion. Sometimes I just look through this and look at the outfits, like they're so beautiful. The character art I really love in this. I also really love this paper. So yeah, that is Princess Jellyfish. Princessjelle. Fish. So I would highly recommend this. If anyone wants to send me €100 to get like 5 more volumes of this, please, I would love it. Okay, next up, we're going to have something that I'm sure is very familiar to a lot of people. My Hero Academia. I'm basic, okay? I have 11 volumes of this. I think that's the most of anything that I have. I'm really bad at finishing things. Like, notoriously, even when I was younger, I would always read to the very end of a book series and never read the final one. So, which makes manga very hard for me because it goes on for a very long time a lot of the time. But this is kind of, it's a staple at this stage. It's really fun. I read this a lot when I was younger. I also, again, really like the art style. There's something kind of cartoonish about it, and all of the characters have so much life. I feel like, I don't know, there isn't enough credit for that. And, you know, there's a wide cast of characters. I have not kept up with the anime or the manga in a long time. I feel like I've watched max 4 seasons. I did read a really good fan fiction one time though. And I think there's some really cute just like little extras in here as well. Of course, all of the staple characters. This is just the beginning. I don't know how far I get up to in this manga, but as in like story wise, I don't remember. I've definitely watched more of the anime than I've read of the manga. So cute. I haven't watched this in a long time, so I don't remember a lot of them. I really like this one. I remember this was the sports festival, and I remember Uraraka and Bakugo fighting in this one. I'm pretty sure. Shinzo, is that his name? The one who can read minds. I think this is his debut. Maybe this is one, because this is where his tragic backstory is revealed, right? Todoroki. This one. Ida. I love Ida. This art is really gorgeous. It's so pretty. I also like how the spines and the backs, like it has a comic book feel. I love Momo, my girl. Cute. Oh, she's here, so there must be something happening there. Was that when he was kidnapped, maybe? I actually don't even know if I ever read this one. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll have to get back on that. Anyway, I'm sure you all know that one. That's just necessary. But I have finally my last little series. And this is my favorite. I reread it honestly like once a year, and I always mean to get more, but they never have it in the shop. In the manga shop, the comic book shop near where I live. And then I just reread it once a year when I remember it, and then I completely forget. So, and that is Assassination Classroom. I've never finished this. No spoilers, please. But there's just something about it. I have this weird obsession with the apocalypse. Nothing really more to say there. So anything that's like the end of the world honestly kind of comforts me, because it kind of reminds me that like you can still live up until the end of the world, and there can be a lot of meaning in that, and people can survive after the end of the world. Like that's what I was thinking when I watched 28 Years Later, because I was like that kind of stuff, it comforts me, because I'm like, people can survive even in a dystopia, and there's still some meaning there, and so some joy there, even if it's not ideal. I like these covers because it's just all the different faces of tentacles, and this is really embarrassing. He's like my guy, and I don't remember. Koro sensei. Whoops. But it's all his different faces that he gets when different things happen to him. So, if you don't know what this is, it is a story about a classroom in like a prep school, who, for whatever reason, they're like kind of abused at this school, and they're like the stupidest kids in this. It's like the stupidest class, and that's how they motivate every other class to do so well, is because they treat these students so poorly, and their like classroom is miles away from the actual campus, but they all, like, this alien thing comes to them and is like, I'm going to end the world in 1 year, I'm indestructible, like, you can't kill me, but I want to be a teacher, so let me teach these kids, and they can try to assassinate me every day. So there are these people trying to train these kids, and like more English teachers and stuff come in, and they are trying to teach the children how to assassinate, and they're trying to assassinate themselves, and it's really cool. They just come up with a bunch of different like objectives, but I really like it because Koro sensei, the teacher, he decides to help these students, and he's a really good teacher, but everyone's like, oh well, does that even mean anything if we're gonna come to the end of the world soon? Like, he's been such a good teacher, and he really helps us a lot, and he even helps them, he gives them tips on how to be better assassins. They all have their different roles. Like, some of them are more physically violent, physically talented, some of them are into like science and potions and that kind of thing, and I just think it's really cool. Anyway, yeah, I really love Assassination Classroom, and I really want to continue reading that. So that's all of my manga. I know it's not a lot, but I just wanted to share it with you here because I thought maybe that will make me read more. So thank you so much for watching.